Hello, and welcome back to another episode of my creative mode building series. Today's episode, we're not actually in Spawn. We are in the same world. We're just not at Spawn for this episode. And the reason because is purely just to get a different change of pace. I really like the spawn we have, the mangrove swamp, the nearby savanna. It keeps things interesting. It keeps things fresh. In terms of like what you'd usually see in a normal survival let's play world. But I just wanted to, go a little bit back to basics with the type of canvas we have. So I scouted out this little plains biome, just 100 or so blocks out from spawn, a couple hundred or so blocks out from spawn. It's more like probably closer around to like 1,000 or something, but it's still a decent amount from spawn. Like you'd probably build a boat from spawn, and then you'd end up here. And you'd find this place and you'd be like, oh, this is the perfect place to settle down. Today's episode, I am just going to be really building and sort of maybe doing a little light terraforming, who knows. I am doing like some right now, but I'll really just be building what is essentially a very basic, a very, very early game sort of house. So yeah, if you'd like to see more of this, if you'd like to see more different builds from me, please be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. As always, it really helps me out, it helps the channel out, and I really appreciate all the support you guys have shown me. Thank you. And as we continue with this, we'll figure out just exactly what dimensions this house should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that should be good. The thing with these houses that no one ever really tells you is you figure it out really more as you go along. It's not really something you figure out fully the first go around. It's definitely a lot of trial and error. For me, I just like placing blocks down in creative sometimes, and just painting the build as I go along. Just treat it as if it's like you have a brush and you're just like, and the world is your canvas. Just paint what you think would look nice. It doesn't really have to be perfect, doesn't have to be anything crazy. It just has to be something that's good enough for you. And maybe we'll throw in some andesite, just throw in some andesite here and there. And you're probably asking yourself, Goober, this is supposed to be like a very basic build. Why are you just throwing in, andesite, all these crazy little texture blocks here and there and everywhere? And I'll tell you. This is whenever you're building something like this, it's always a good practice to just try something new. You don't have to always stick to the same old formula, the same old style. You can always just make something different, make something new. That's the core appeal of the game to me. It's always trying. And when you try, you end up finding things that you do like to do and things that you don't like. And by figuring those out, well, you know how to become a better player of the game. You know how to become a better builder of the game. And I think that's really just like the core conceit of Minecraft, to me at least. Other people, they have like different values, they have different ideas of what the game should be. For me at least, the most important thing about Minecraft is what you choose to just leave behind in the world. And yeah, the house is pretty small. It's like I said, it's just a simple like 7x7, but it's really just a sort of 5x5 if you count like your inside space. We'll probably have basic oak planks probably as your floor. I don't really doubt that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the type of wood you'd stick to. You'd probably use maybe an oak log here, and then to make your house have a little bit more depth, make it a little bit more fancy, you'd use a spruce door there, and maybe an andesite staircase up here. Right. All right. We're doing pretty good so far, and we're already like 6 or so minutes into the video. Now it's time to show you some more interesting techniques. Now then, I'd place some stairs here, do the same here, and do the same here and here. And what this is going to do is it's going to help us expand and elevate our house. We're going to make it bigger, we're going to make it fuller, and yeah, we're going to just give it a bit more depth. And I'll show you just what to do about these spruce staircases that I just added. So these spruce stairs, really, you can just do whatever you want with them. For me at least, I think I'll stick with the classic trapdoor on the side. You know, nothing too crazy, nothing too complicated. It's just to help show that it's like attached to the structure, and it's not just, you know, it's not just the stairs. And you can even add this horizontally along the bottom part, you know, just to add that extra oomph, that extra detail, that this really is just like a simple spruce support structure that is wrapping along the house and helping support up these walls. And basically from there, we are going to keep building with like oak, probably. Instead of having an oak floor for the upstairs, we'll probably have maybe a birch floor. That sounds fun. That sounds interesting. It's different, you know. Never be afraid to do something that is a little unorthodox. It doesn't have to be birch, doesn't have to be oak. These just happen to be the blocks I'm using because of the particular biome and area we're in. If you can see in the distance, there's oak trees, there's birch trees. Over there, there's a birch forest. So I highly recommend when you're building something in creative, while you can just use whatever palette you want, you know, to make your builds, obviously, especially when you're like experimenting on like what a build should look like. I also like highly recommend just picking the blocks that would match the palette of the area, you know. If they look right, if they look nice to you, I highly recommend using them. All right, let's see. We could just keep building up like this. And honestly, I am going to keep doing that. But I think maybe over here, it'd be really nice if we had a sort of, you'll see. We'll have a bit of an archway, basically. And because that archway will lead into a small little balcony. I don't know if it'll look nice, if it'll look amazing. That's not my main concern. I want to add it because I think it'll give some more dimension and shape to the build, you know. I don't really want to struggle with these staircases all too much though. Struggling with staircases is not fun. There we go. Up, wait, hang on. There we go. And then perhaps we can use some spruce planks and just place them here. And then spruce fences all along like this. And yes, they're not going to be perfectly attached, and that's fine. Maybe we'll just add some, you know, some logs just to give it shape, have it make sense, you know. And there we go. We have a little balcony on our second floor, looking out into towards the sunrise, and I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, to be honest with you guys, the reason I've been recording more stuff like this instead of, you know, my typical survival series, one of the main reasons really is I've been experiencing a little bit of burnout, if I'm being so genuine with you guys. I don't know if you could tell. Hopefully you really couldn't, because I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but yeah, I've been, you know, I've been dealing with a bit of burnout lately. School's been a bit of a struggle, and I've had to go back to recording on my laptop because, well, you know, I can't really, I'm not the best student. You know, I'm a smart guy. I'm a smart fella, not a fart smella. But yeah, I haven't been keeping up with my grades lately. They've been slipping. Um and yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. It's not really something I want to like make a big deal of and like really make all too public. You know, I'll share like a little bit with you guys, but of course at the end of the day, you're all just sort of just internet strangers to me. Uh and I won't, you know, I won't always just share all my information with y'all. And you know, I like having that boundary. But yeah, I've been dealing with that and also with like burnout lately, figuring out if like being a creator in this sort of capacity is what I really want. And you know, it's always difficult to deal with burnout in that way. It's always difficult to realize, hey, maybe this isn't as all it's all cracked up to be. And you know, admitting that you're struggling, uh as I've learned, is one of the first steps to actually, you know, working through your issues, working through your problems. And I know, I hope that by sharing this, by talking about it, I hope that, you know, someone else who's struggling right now, who's going through something similar, they're able to see this and they're able to like feel less alone, I guess. I don't really know. I'm just a guy at the end of the day, you know. I'm not anyone special. Um but yeah, I just, you know, I hope sometimes that making these videos at the end of the day, whenever someone needs to see this kind of video, they see it, they receive this video, and you know, they get what they need from it. Because when I was younger, it was always really comforting for me to receive videos sort of like this on my feed, where um the creator would just talk, you know, maybe not something as like serious as what I'm talking about. Maybe they're more silly than that. And you know, that's just what being a creator is sometimes. Sometimes you're really just catering to your audience most of the time. And I still am not really sure who my audience is, or if I really have an audience. I mean, sure, people like stumble upon my videos, but you know, who stays and continues watching me after that one video that they see? I'm not really sure, you know, and that's okay. I'm not shaken up about it. I'm not like, oh my god, I'm never gonna be popular at this rate. I'm never gonna be famous. Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. I actually don't really care, you know. It'd be nice. It'd be amazing, actually, if what I'm doing resulted in me, you know, getting all this attention, all these views. But like, I hope that like as I get older, as I continue to grow as, you know, a creator, I hope I realize that, you know, that some things never really change, and the one thing I hope never really does change is my attitude towards making this stuff. Because I just know that what I'm trying to make right now, I hope, at least, it's something that someone needs at the moment, you know. I hope it's like something that someone's been like desperately, well, not desperately, but something that someone's been looking for a while now, and that by watching my channel, I hope they find some sort of solace, you know. I'm like I said, I'm literally just a guy. Like I'm no one special, really, at the end of the day. But I, you know, it's something a lot of people hope for when they make videos. They hope that the things they make, it reaches people, it touches people, like in the heart, I guess. I don't know. But for me at least, I hope that the content I make, it leads to some good, you know. I don't know if like anything I do will ever like be world changing. I'm not some I'm not some like I don't even know. I'm like I said, I'm literally just a guy. But you know, you always hope that the things you make mean something. You know, they mean something to someone. And you know, I've really tried to make my the things I make like as meaningful as possible. To myself, at least. I don't know if they'll be meaningful to anyone else, but you know, they're pretty meaningful to me. Sorry for this weird little ramble. It's you know, it's been dwelling on my mind. Not like, oh, I need to be popular, I need to do this, I need to be this. At the end of the day, you know, if I win or if I lose, I'm just glad that I've gone on this journey and I've had the experience to, I've had the pleasure to experience this, you know. It's not a I must become this for me. It's obviously an I want to become this, you know. I want to do this. It'd be awesome if I could make videos of just me chatting about random stuff for a living. That'd be so awesome, you know. That'd be so cool. But, you know, that's not the reality for everyone. Not everyone gets the opportunity to do that, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not scared of not being able to ever get that opportunity. I just don't want to not get that opportunity because I didn't try, you know. If I at least try, then I know that I gave it my best shot. And that's really the least you could do. I chose a red bed because it's a classic. You simply just have to pick a red bed with this sort of thing. And yeah, that's my little house there. It's definitely not perfect. There's definitely some things that I should have done differently. I definitely like think that these windows are a bit lacking, and I should probably add something like this to the sides to give it dimension. These feel a little flat. And yeah, you know, I put these things in like 20-minute formats, but you know, sometimes they take more time because that's just the nature of it. That's the nature of a build, really. And eventually you'll see me actually do like multi-episode build projects, probably things that take a while to finish. And you know, I'll break it down piece by piece, step by step. But I hope this is like a really good example of a really simple build you can just you know, sort of do. I kind of just like talk through the whole building process, but I hope you could see like some of the techniques I demonstrated like down there to add depth and like make it sort of look physically like physically make sense, you know. I don't know. It's whatever, really. Hang on, let me just do weather clear real quick. There we go. Set weather to clear. And oh, I like that. I like that shot. That's definitely going to be the thumbnail. Oh, look, it looks like I just realized it looks like a little monster. Like you can see that it's the little eye, and then has a big toothy grin. It's silly. I like it when buildings accidentally make faces. But yeah. If you guys like, obviously it's still sort of a blank canvas for you guys to add furniture to. I could have just added like chests. I'd probably add like chests or like a crafting table down here. Probably the furnaces as well. Up here, I'd probably make like stuff for like pets, some actual like furniture, add bookshelves. My room would the room up here would probably have like some enchanting set up. You know, it's a blank slate for you to add whatever you want to it. I'm just giving you some ideas. But yeah. As always, I've been Goober Jam. Thanks for listening to me ramble again for like, well, probably the 100th time by this point. You guys have been a terrific audience. I hope I've been a decent enough creator. That's my catchphrase. And with that, we've come to the end of the episode. Thank you again, guys, so much for watching. Please be sure, once again, to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. And with that, I shall see you in the next episode. Take care, and much love, you guys. Bye-bye!